Alrighty. Hello, everyone. My name is Aiden. Welcome back to another stream. This is going to be a bit of a different stream, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are going to be ranking the Spider Man series, or at least the games that I played within this series from S all the way down to D. So, S being the absolute best of the best that this game can offer, and D being I would never ever want to see this game ever again. Don't ever show it to me. If you show it to me, I will run away in fear. I never want to see it again. So that is what we are going to do in this stream today. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy it. I feel like this is a little bit of a different stream, and I want to make this a continuous thing. I want to be able to every series I finish, whether it's, this one, Spider-Man, we finished this a while ago, but then Batman, which we'll be finishing relatively soon. And then we've got Sonic, which will be finishing God knows how long, a long time. But, ranking all these games, giving my thoughts on the games. Things may have changed from when I gave the final review, reflective mindset and whatnot, thinking back on it and everything in between. There's a lot that we have played. And ultimately, things may have changed from when I first thought about it to now. So, take this with a grain of salt, as well as keep in mind this is my opinion, and I will not in any way disagree with somebody else's opinion. If you think, for example, this game over here, Spider Man for the PS4, which is one of my favorite games, if you put it in the D category right here, that is up to you. You guys do what you want. I'm not going to sit here and defend my case. I'm going to tell you what I like about the game, and I'm going to tell you why I put it where I normally would put it. So hopefully you guys will enjoy. And yeah, different stream. I don't think this is going to be a long stream, but it's going to be hopefully a stream with interaction, just a little bit, and we'll see where we go. Peter's in the building. Peter the Betrayer. Hello, hello, hello. This will be a fine hour stream, I reckon. It will be a fine hour. Maybe not even an hour, but it'll be a fine stream. Thank you. I hope it will be a very fine stream. I want to thank Game Ninja for making this for me as well. His name is right there, so shout out to him. I don't know if I can even remove that or not, but we don't need to remove that. So he made the tier list for me. These are all the games that I have played. So there might be some that I'm missing, maybe before the PS1 era, because that's where I started. Some of the DS games I'm sure are missing as well, 3DS games, whatever the case may be. These are all the games that I have played, and this is all the games I probably will be playing. I don't see myself going back and playing any news of or maybe a new Spider-Man game whenever it comes out, but I don't see myself going out and playing the DS games or anything like that. At least not in the near future. So, and they're also in, I believe, the ranking that I've played them in, the order that I played them in. So my very first Spider-Man game that I played that was purely based on Spider-Man was Spider-Man PS4, or it was the PS5 edition. So these are basically in order of which I've played them. So hopefully that makes sense. And I think we're all good. We're ready to get started. You guys ready to get started? I can't hear you. I think you're ready. All right, I'm going to assume you guys are ready. With that being said, let's talk about the very first game, the very first Spider-Man game that I played, Spider-Man for the PS4. This was the upgraded PS5 edition with the new Spider-Man face scan and whatnot. Better graphics, race tracing, I believe, was in there, everything in between. I think the best version of this game you could possibly get at the moment is the PC version. Uh, Man, this was again, this is one of my favorite games of all time. This is, I believe, my favorite game of all time. There's so much about this game that I love. I truly think this is a love letter for every Spider-Man game that comes before it. And in my opinion, this is inspiration for every Spider-Man game that comes after it. They have to measure. This is the measuring stick, in my opinion. This is the game that you look at and say, you know what? We have to live up to this. If we're ever going to make a Spider-Man game, it needs to live up to this one. I mean, there was just so many things to love about this game. For starters, this was the first Spider-Man game where I could truly say they perfected the swinging mechanics. It was an unbelievable joy to swing through New York. You had the option to kind of manual swing in there as well. You also had the ability to auto swing, and it would be a little bit easier for you. The difficulty in the game is very well balanced, whether you're picking the easy or the hard versions. I think you're always going to be in for a fun ride. The story in this game is unbelievable. Again, it starts off very lighthearted. It starts off with you going right for Kingpin and taking him out, and that was kind of your introduction level. But things got very deep very quickly with with Doc Ock kind of going absolutely mad with all these inventions. It's tearing his brain away. He created a toxin in retaliation to Osborn's action, shutting him down. He created like an evil toxin. I think it's called Devil's Breath. Uh, that just kind of took out so many people. And the decision with Peter to make, I don't want to spoil everything, but the big decision Peter has to make towards the end of the game, in my opinion, that was one of the only moments in gaming history where I actually did shed a tear. Like that scene was acted to perfection. It was unbelievable. The Martin Lee surprise was as well, Game Ninja, absolutely. Um, Mr. Negative, and of course the Deadly Six that was in there. The story was truly a joy, and the gameplay matched a tooth and nail. This gameplay was fantastic. Again, it revolutionized every Spider-Man game that came before it, and it inspired every Spider-Man game that came afterwards. To me, this is the measuring stick. This is absolutely my favorite game of all time. Even the games that we're going to be talking about next, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, I don't think it lives up to this game for a lot of things, a lot of reasons. Plus, this game had DLC, and the DLC was magnificent in this game as well. Uh, it was just fantastic, man. The fact that the first game in this world and they started with the Sinister Six, exactly. The DLC was incredible with the mob families and whatnots. You got to see what happens with Yuri, how she kind of took a turn for the worst. Silver Sable as well. All of that was again, what a great DLC. And it was very difficult as well. It wasn't something you could run straight into, but it was a great story. To me, this is easy. S rank. I don't think you're gonna get a better Spider-Man experience than this one. Spider-Man 2 might come close, Miles Morales comes close as well. There is no experience like this one, in my opinion. So I highly recommend, if there's any Spider-Man game in the world that I recommend you play, this is the one. You will not get a better game than this, in my opinion. Story wise, gameplay wise, they nailed everything. The customization of the suits as well, how many suits you get, all of it is fantastic, right? Highly recommends. We can move on. Spider-Man Miles Morales, the game that takes place after um, Spider-Man for the PS4, the PS5 version, whatever you want to call it. Miles Morales was a PlayStation 5 debut game, if you guys didn't know. I believe it came out at full price. So I'm going to take that into consideration here because my biggest critique about Spider-Man Miles Morales is that the game is awfully short for a full price game. I may be wrong. Maybe it wasn't full price, but I remember it being relatively close to full price. I know if you did get the full price version, you did get the Spider-Man PS4 version, the upgraded graphics as well. So it does make it a little bit more enticing. But to me, this is not worth full price just because of how short the game actually is. But Miles Morales, man, this is the great introduction into the life of Miles Morales, into the struggles that he has to live up to, trying to live up to Spider-Man, trying to be Spider-Man, essentially. You see the pains of it. You see his relationships with his family get very different from his mother to his uncle to his friends. And ultimately, we find out that one of his friends is one of the main villains in this game. So that is very important. The story in this game, in my opinion, is fantastic. Again, the last scene, which I won't spoil, where essentially you get the climactic ending and you get everybody sort of around. It was genuinely a masterpiece sort of ending. And I really think they made Miles Morales so unique compared to Peter Parker. The way that he swings is very more show off sort of mentality. The way that he fights and the style that he fights at, it's very much a show off mentality. That's what Miles Morales does. He's a show off a little bit. He likes to have some flair with his swinging. He's very acrobatic, and you can tell in the way that he plays. And again, a tremendous introduction. I love the music in this game as well. I didn't really mention much about the Spider Man PS4 music, but that is classic Spider Man. The introduction and the music for Spider Man Miles Morales, they took a different turn for it, but I think they nailed it as well. So there's so much to like about this game. I am going to knock it down because it was a full price game when I personally purchased it. So with that in mind, this game Moves all the way up to A. I think this is an A game. Um, it might be, in my opinion, the S sort of territory, but maybe the bottom of S. I might move it later. We'll see how the rest of this goes because I'm coming into this purely not having an idea of where I'm going to rank these things, to be honest. But I just think how short the game is, it really is the only issue that I have considering it was a full price game. So that's where we're at the moment. I might put it at the bottom of S tier by the end of it. So keep that in mind. But I love Miles Morales. It is a great short experience to have. And again, if this game is ever on sale, I reckon you snatch this up in a heartbeat. It is a great game to play. Okay, let's look at the chat real quick before we move on. I'm trying to make this as interactive as possible. The fact that this is the first game where it started with a Sinister Six, yes. Unfortunately, Spider-Man 2 was also going to have DLC, but it was cancelled. From what we know, it was going to follow up what you saw in Wraith's side mission stories. Not going to spoil it. Also, cheers to Aiden for getting Spider-Man 2. Yes, I did. I remember that. I did get Spider-Man 2 for you, Game Ninja, and I hope you liked it. I really hope you liked it. So, Spider-Man 2018 should lose points for the opening song being copyrighted. I mean, if it was based purely on Let's Playability, absolutely. But, you know, I also played this game sort of normally as well. And I'm willing to let the copyright go. But speaking of copyright, Spider-Man 2 is next. And the big positive about Spider-Man 2, content-friendly music. We love that. Every streamer, every Let's Play player in the world loved that. We love it. We need more of it in games. You know, we want to have the full experience. One of the biggest things that I didn't like about my Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales Let's Plays is that I had to turn the music off. And I cannot stand that because the music is such a big part of these games. An intense scene doesn't become intense without intense music. The acting can be the best in the world. If there's not even a glimpse of music in there, it can hurt the scene dramatically. So in my opinion, that hurts the playthrough. Spider-Man 2, it was absolutely perfect in that regard. Every song, content friendly, the streamer friendly mode, it was beautiful. We need more of it. Please, Insomniac Games and any game developer that makes future games, always have streamer friendly modes in there. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Spider-Man 2, in my opinion, they hyped this up to be the next best thing. They hyped this up to be the absolute pinnacle of the Spider-Man gameplay. And although it is a great game, it is a fantastic game. I don't think it did that much out of what you already saw in Miles Morales and Spider-Man. I don't think it really goes over the top. What I love about this game is the story of the game. Very similar to all these Spider-Man games. These are the best of the best in terms of stories. Starting off with, I guess, Spider-Man, the combination of Spider-Man and Miles Morales taking on the Sandman, Peter Parker looking for a job and he couldn't get one, and you know, and all that sort of stuff. All the way leading to, I don't think I need to, this is not really a spoiler anymore, how Venom gets introduced into the game, you know, and then you're dealing with Venom for a lot of the time. And all of the story is magnificent. I'm trying not to spoil the big parts of the story, so bear that in mind. But the story, in my opinion, is the key thing in the game. The gameplay is very good. Very, very good. I just don't think for a game that came out, what is it, 4 or 5 years after the original Spider-Man game, I don't think it does enough to make it special. The traversal, however, is where this game does shine. From the spider wings, I don't know what they're called, but the spider wings that kind of allows you to fly and kind of float a little bit, and it's much quicker. The swinging mechanics being a lot faster as well. Again, the beautiful traversal, being able to fast travel like that. That's not a good click. Hold on. Like that. You click the finger and you exactly where you want to be. You can fast travel to any place at any time within a moment's notice. It is absolutely sensational. So the traversal in this game, in my opinion, is one of the best in gaming history. It is that good. And I really didn't like, I really did like the customization as well in this game. The spider suits, a lot of them are returning, but you could change the color schemes. You could have a blue spider suit. You could have a pink spider suit. You could have a red spider suit. You could have a yellow spider suit. You could do that with a lot of the suits in the game. It brings an extra layer of creativity. Every one Spider-Man most of the time will be different than someone else's. You can find your own unique style. It's a great addition to the game. I don't think all the suits are really talk worthy, but you can make them talk worthy with how you customize your Spider-Man suit. It is great. Uh Other than that, there were a little bit of small details I didn't like. I don't necessarily um like how they changed MJ's face in the game a little bit. And of course, Spider-Man's face was changed in the PS5 version, the original. I prefer the original there too. I think they did a little bit of changes that wasn't necessary, but those are just nitpicking things in what was a very, very, very good experience. The story also, as much as I love it, it doesn't match up, in my opinion, to the original Spider-Man game here on the PS4. So, with that in mind, I'm going to bump this into S tier. I think this is an S tier quality game. I'm bumping this up to S tier, but not better than the original Spider-Man on the PS4. I really believe these three games, you're not going to get better than this. It's as simple as that. You are not going to get better than these three games. So I highly recommend, if you ever have the opportunity to play any of these games, go and do it. They are magnificent, truly astonishing games to play. And there's nothing more I need to say about that. We spent 16 minutes of this stream talking about these three games and the love of these three games. I mean, I can't say much more. I could go on all day, and maybe at the end of the stream I'll continue to talk about it, but we do have quite a few games to get through. I will try to make this video kind of a good balance as well, talking about the goods and the bads, because there's a lot of bads in here. Let's get to the chat. Note as well, for anyone rewatching this on Twitch, if you are playing on PC, you can add some custom suits as well through mods, including adding back the suits from Spider-Man 2018 and Spider-Man Miles Morales that originally didn't make it. There you go. I never played these games on PC. At the time that I was playing these games, I didn't really have a PC. I just had a laptop, and I wasn't going to do it on a laptop. So there you go. The benefits of playing on PC is also an extra layer. I recommend getting these games on PC, by the way. I feel like since I've got a PC, PC gaming is the way to go. When everything runs smoothly, it is the way to go. So get these games wherever you can, really. I did recently see this game right here. This one, I'm going crazy. But this one's on PlayStation Plus now. And so are these two. So all these games, if you have a PlayStation Plus subscription account, I believe all three of these games have access to you. You will have access to them. Go and play them. Please, I'm begging you, go and play them. If you are watching this video, that means you have some interest in Spider-Man. Go and play these games if you haven't done it. Enough said. Ultimate Spider-Man is next. Ooh. The first PS2 Spider-Man game I have played, I gotta say, this game is very difficult. I'll tell you why. This game is very difficult because the races, especially with I forgot his name. What's his name? The one from the Fantastic Four. The one. Surely Game Ninja can let me know in the chat. But his races are hard, and there's a lot of Human Torch. That's the one. Human Torch. Those races very difficult. Not easy to do at all. It gets harder and harder as time goes on. Like, you have to go through certain sections. I think there's 5 sections of races, and they just get harder and harder every time. In my opinion, it is absolutely, it's so difficult. And there's a lot of collectibles as well that goes into this game. You can collect multiple costumes. You can collect multiple things, which I personally didn't do. But it makes this game, replayability wise, I think this game is up there. But the main story of the game, as difficult as the actual game is, the main story is quite short. I've seen people play this game and beat it in 2 hours. So that's pretty short. And considering at this point in time, I was really focusing on main stories, I had a blast in this game. This game brings back so many memories. The swinging in this game is massively underrated. People talk about the PS2 swinging, and they talk about the PS4 swinging. Spider-Man 2 swinging, obviously Spider-Man for the PS4 swinging. They talk about these swinging mechanics. Ultimate Spider-Man has some very good swinging mechanics that gets talked nowhere near enough about. I also like that it takes place in a real world, not real world, but like real life comics. This is sort of an issue in a real life comic. I find that so fascinating that they made that into a game. And this was one of the most popular Spider-Man games of his time. I still have the cover, and it literally says most wanted on it. That's how good this game was for a lot of people. It was so popular. I'm almost in disbelief they didn't make a second game for this. So yeah, positives, great story. The art style is magnificent. The voice acting in this game is sensational as well. They definitely got the right people to play these characters. The relationships within the game, Peter Parker, how his head gets all messed up when he's near Eddie or near Venom. The relationship with MJ and Pete wasn't really talked about that much, but you could tell they were on good terms during this time. Um, the art style is magnificent. Gameplay is very good. I don't like that there's no dodging. The only way you can dodge in that game is to literally just double jump. That's the only way you can kind of dodge. But a very good game. Very good game. Just too short. And ultimately, the things that make this game longer are not necessary and ridiculously difficult. So I'm going to put this game and bump it right into the B ranking. I think this is a very good game for the time. Again, this is one of those games I might move later to below A, but right now I feel like this is a B level game. It is a very good game for the PS2. I highly recommend that you play it if you have a PS2 or if you can somehow find a way to emulate, whatever the case may be, play the game. You will have a good time doing so. Again, I find I find it so fascinating that this is genuinely a comic book. Like I could go, I could search up what series of a comic book this is, like what series it is, and then go read the one afterwards to continue the story. Like that's so fascinating, is it not? I mean, yeah, it's beautiful. I really like this game. One of the first games I ever played in my life as well. I have a very soft spot for this one. Okay, this piece of junk right here, Spider-Man for the PS2, the OG. This game, all right, I need to calm down a bit. This game brings back bad memories. I understand a lot of the PS1 games and this early PS2 game, it's very restrictive. You're kind of swinging in midair and whatnot. And, the gameplay is a little bit sort of. Like, this is kind of where we're at with this version of Spider-Man. What I can't stand about this game, one, very difficult. I'm not big on difficult games, as you can see. Two, the ending of this game was the absolute worst thing I've ever experienced in all of the Spider-Man games here that you still see. And up the top. This is the worst ending of a Spider-Man game I've ever seen. And I'm talking about unsolved cliffhangers as well. How does it end, you may sound? You may think? Or look, do I spoil it? That's the thing. I really want to spoil it, but let's put it this way. It is a disaster. It is a disaster. Picture Spider-Man, what is it, 2002? The movie came out. Picture that Spider-Man game, the movie. Why not just bring up your playthrough and show it? I don't want to do that. Because again, I don't want to ruin it for someone that hasn't played it. But that's a good suggestion. Just picture the movie, the ending of the movie. Picture I guess a similar ending in a way. And then they just absolutely rip the piece of paper with the script and they say, screw it. We're gonna ruin everything for Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 with that ending. Let's put it that way. It was bad. I'm gonna look, it's 2002. If you haven't played this game yet, I'm spoiling it. I don't care. Essentially, we beat Green Goblin. And Green Goblin's like, oh, Peter, I'm sorry. And he dies, all right? Very similar. That's kind of the area that is the similar, He kind of gets hit by his own glider. He says, I'm sorry. He dies, right? Peter's standing over his dead body, just staring at him. And MJ walks in. And then Peter says, you know what, MJ? I've got something to tell you. And MJ says, shh, I know, Tiger. Takes the mask off, even though you don't see her do it because the game's that old. And kisses, I guess, the boyfriend now, Peter Parker, in front of a dead corpse. What is that? What sort of ending is that? That is the worst ending ever. It completely ruined Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3, especially because those two movie games coming up next completely just forget that we saw that ending in the original Spider-Man game. They just completely ignore it. It never existed. It's almost like they throw it under the rug. I can't forget about this. It is that bad of an ending. All they had to do was, Spider-Man say to MJ, you know what? I'm happy I saved you or something. Swing her back home and end the game, bro. Why you gotta do all this extra stuff? This is easily a D territory game, in my opinion. I know a lot of people love this game. It doesn't stand the test of time. The gameplay is shockingly bad. And the ending and the story in of itself, there's not much to the story until you get to this moment here. And then they just ruin it completely. Not good. Not good at all. Yeah. I'm sorry. If you like this game, this is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Note that Aiden does not condone piracy. I do not condone piracy. You have to own the game legally to emulate, by the way. So you need to own the game. But yeah, do not pirate games, please. Don't do that. All right, had to make that clear. Let's move on. Spider-Man 2 for the PS2. This game is much better than the original Spider-Man. And for a lot of people, this is their second best Spider-Man game in the world. And it came out in what, 2005, 2004, something like that. This game is truly a love letter, once again, to Spider-Man games, present, past, future. It's a love letter. It inspired the Insomniac series just as much as the Batman series would say. There's a lot of stuff. Firstly, this is one of the first truly open world Spider-Man games, sort of open sandbox where you could get to explore New York. The swinging in this game, again, considering there are many games past this that don't do it better than this game, it's a very good swinging mechanic. Very, very good. And again, thankfully, the Insomniac series learnt a lot from this. And there was side content you could do as well. I believe you could play some sort of video games in there. You could also do pizza time, where you could go and collect pizza, which was very, very good. I didn't do much of that because I fell into the water and I gave up on life. But other than that, you can do it. It's good. Story-wise, this game wasn't difficult, but the story was genuinely great. And this is also the game where the cutscenes looked terrific, considering it was a PS2 game. The cutscene, again, when I was younger, this was just me, and I first played this game, I genuinely thought the cutscene was the movie. When I was a kid, obviously now I could clearly tell the difference, but when I was a kid, I genuinely thought the starting cutscene where he was kind of jumping through New York, he falls down and Doc Ock is doing his experiments. I genuinely thought that was the movie. So that's how good it was for its time. The cutscenes were fantastic. And again, the actual story was, to a degree, true to the movie. Of course, there was some side content there that we never experienced in the actual movie, but the main story was true to the movie. That's all I can ask for from a movie game. How is this game considered a movie game? I'll never understand. I'll never understand it. Because the ending just completely, in my opinion, takes it away. Outside of the fact that the key guys like Tobey Maguire was voice acting Spider-Man, that's the only thing, in my opinion, that makes that a movie game. This one is much better. To me, I'm putting this right next to Miles Morales in the A category. Considering this is a PS2 game, I love this game. I think this game is so good. Again, side content-wise is very good. The only thing I would say is that I don't think this game, and the reason why it's not in the S-rank category, I don't think this game stands the test of time. I think if you played this game in 2026, you can see how outdated this game truly is. But you got to take into consideration this is a PS2 game. And for that reason, I'm putting it in the A category. I had a great time with this game. It was quite easy, which was good. I always like a little bit of an easier game as well. There's so much to like. And again, sometimes, the saying that sometimes the sequel isn't better than the original? Maybe in the movie, this is right. A lot of people don't like the Spider-Man 2 or the Spider-Man 3 movie compared to the original. But for the gameplay-wise, this takes 3 dumps on this one. Let's put it this way. this game, in my opinion, is an embarrassment. I genuinely mean embarrassment. So, okay, we're gonna put that back up there. Let's move on. Was this that one? Hold on. Was this one that made you do side content in order to progress through the main story? Yes, I believe you had to do a You had to get spider points, and side. You know, if you didn't get a certain area, if you didn't get a certain amount of spider points, you would have to do some sort of side content, whether it's beating up bad guys, getting balloons. I believe was one of them as well. Pizza time. There were loads of side content that you could do to get to the main story, but it wasn't a lot. Like you didn't need to do 5 hours worth of like, example Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Um, it's not the same example, but you had towards the end of the game, you had to do a lot of destroying stuff, and it just took so long. One mission took ages. The side missions here did not take that long to do, and the same with Ultimate Spider-Man as well. You could kind of get all the side content you need before you even touch most of the main story, and you could just kind of get through the main story as normal. This one, you just need a certain amount of spider points to move on. I still think it's a very good game. Spider-Man 3. Hold on. For my fellow Sonic fans, this game came out the same year as Sonic Heroes. Yes. This game, I've never raged more in a Spider-Man game than this game right here. I wouldn't say that just yet, but this game was so rage-worthy. So rage-worthy. Firstly, they messed up the faces in this game. Everybody's face is completely whacked out. It's messed up. It is just not. I'm gonna take my hat off. I'm sweating a bit, but there we go. It's not. It's not good. It is not good at all. And the second thing I want to talk about, the quick time events. Oh dear lords, the quick time events are just so bad in this game. I absolutely hate games that are too reliant on quick time events. This game, I felt like all I played, whether it was a boss fight, traversal, saving citizens, all of it is a quick time event. It felt like playing a Telltale games in many ways, with a little bit of gameplay in between. This game, gameplay wise, absolutely sucks. I'm sorry. This gameplay wise, this is one of the worst in the series. But there are positives to this one. This is also the game, by the way, that made my PS3 freeze if I did certain things, and it actually took away all my save. So I had to restart the game again. I'm going to try and keep that bias aside, but that definitely doesn't help. This game has some good elements. Again, I do like the fact that the story is relatively true to the main game. I do like the fact that they had a whole bunch of side missions, whether it was Kingpin. I'm pretty sure Kingpin was in this game, to the Lizard as well. They had side content that was very good. Their missions were very well organized. You had like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 missions per each boss or each area, each thug. You know, there was a whole bunch of thugs in this game. Some of them I'll never ever remember, but the missions were well organized. You can go to where you needed to go to for all of them. All of it made sense. It was genuinely beautiful in that regards. And of course, this was the introduction to the black suit of Spider-Man, which means you get different gameplay depending on which suit you used. You used the black suit. That Sandman boss fight, even though it was quick time heavy, you felt like you were playing with the black suited Spider-Man. And that's all I can ask for a game that introduces it. So there were positives to this, just too many negatives. I think this is better than the original. Can I swap it? There we go. I think it's better than the original, but I'm sorry, it's still not good. And the PS2 version is even worse. So we're going to bump that right down to D. I don't like this game at all. I think we're doing well so far, guys. What? We're nearly 40 minutes in, 35 minutes in, and we still have loads to talk about. Spider-Man PS1. Man, when I first realized I could play this game, my heart jumped for joy. Because I did not know at the time, forgive me, as a PlayStation fan, I should know better. I did not know at the time my PS3 could play PS1 games. I didn't know that in the slightest. So when I bought this PS1 game, this was by the way, this is the first ever PS1 game I've ever played. So let that sink in. I'm a PS2 guy, always have been. I grew up on the PS2. This is a game that was so star-studded, I couldn't even believe my eyes. We saw guys like Iron Man, Captain America. We saw the Punisher in here. We saw Deadpool in here. There's so many people we saw in here. Wasn't even funny. It's like they said, get every Marvel character, even if they have no correlation to this game at all, put them in there. Put them in there. Star-studded. Daredevil. I think I said. Oh, I said Deadpool. I meant Daredevil. I don't think Deadpool's in the game. Everybody was in this game. Everybody was in this game. Considering it's a very similar game to the Spider-Man for the PS2, I think the traversal is, the same. Combat is relatively the same. Graphics are much worse, but it's also a PS1 game. And I do think it's better on other platforms compared to the PS1. I do like the mission structure a little bit more than this game. I really, really do. And I think the story is much better. And I do think the star-studded roster really helps. And considering this is one of the first games on the PS1, this was quite an enjoyable experience. Balanced experience as well. Wasn't too easy, wasn't too hard. It felt like a true balanced gaming experience as well. So for me, I'm going to bump this up to C. I don't think it's better than any of these games I played here, but I recognize how important this game is. I recognize how fun and star-studded this game is. But again, it is a bit. It does not stand that test of time for me. I played this game last year, if I'm not mistaken, round about the early stages of last year. I'm sorry, it doesn't stand the test of time for me. I don't think I can, in good conscience, put it above any of the games up here, if that makes sense. Let's take a drink real quick. A drink break. I needed that. My throat was getting parched. Let's move on. Spider-Man 2, I think it's called Enter Electro. The second ever PS1 game I ever played. Simple. It's going there. This game, I think what they designed it to be was a harder version of the original. Too hard. Way too hard. This game, I think you need multiple hours and a lot of time dedicated to beating this game. And I don't think that's how you should make video games. I'm sorry. I don't think the first video game should be the introduction and then the second video game should be let's go balls to the wall and make this as hard as possible. This is one of the hardest games I've ever played in my life. The camera work in this game is shocking. It's not funny. When there were certain boss fights, like I think it was Hammerheads, one of the boss fights. I'll never forget this boss fight. The camera would not allow me to see where this guy was. He was kicking my ass for 45 minutes straight before I even did any damage to him. Again, that was probably one of the highlights of the worst experiences I've ever had in gaming. It was really bad. This one was so bad in that regard. Camera work was bad. Boss fights were too hard. Level structures were too hard. This felt like a DLC in many ways. But I don't think this is how gaming should be. You shouldn't make the second game harder because people played the first game. I think they just took the wrong approach in that regard. And plus, it's definitely not as star-studded as the original Spider-Man game either. What I did like, was this... Pretty sure Venom was in this game, right? I'm pretty sure this was the one with Venom in it. I think Venom was quite funny in this game. Or maybe that was the first one as well. Again, story-wise, I'm a little bit lost with this one, but there's too many things I didn't like about this game. It is definitely in the D category. And another game that's going in the D category, something I would never ever want to talk about, really. This, in my opinion, is the worst Spider-Man game I've ever played. The PS2 version of Spider-Man Web of Shadows. This game absolutely sucked. This game was an abomination to gaming. I know that this is a PSP game and you might have some leniency for that. This game had the most snooze fest story ever. It had the absolute most snooze fest gameplay ever. It's a 2D side scroller. Most of the time your hits didn't even connect. Even if you were hitting them, it didn't register. The traversal sucked. There were a couple of good voice acting moments. That's the best I can give it. And then the ending is the worst thing ever. I've never seen an ending where it just says, congratulations, you saved the city. And then that's the end of the game. Even for PSP standards, that is an abomination to gaming. Imagine you play GTA 5. GTA, let's put it this way. GTA 5, you pick option C, you save all your friends, and instead of the big cutscene towards the end where they kind of get their justice and they all go their separate ways, instead of that beautiful cutscene that GTA offered us, it said, congratulations, you saved your friends. And then it goes to credits. Like, it. No, what the heck was that? Why would you do that? Worst ending of all time. You know what? Yeah, I take back. This is not the worst ending of all time. This one, because this is worse. At least this had a cutscene, even if it was a really crap one. This had nothing. This one said just said congrats, good job, guys. Round of applause. You did it. You know what is that, man? Never seen any game ever do that ever again. I feel like this is the only game that does that. It was just really bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you like this game. Snooze fest. I wanted to sleep every time. This is one of the only games where I actually felt like, you know what? I don't want to stream today when I was playing it. One of the only games that made me feel that way. So, if you like this game, I apologize. It's just not good. By the way, the PS1 Spider-Man had Daredevil, Captain America, Punisher, Human Torch, and the Watcher. PS1 Spider-Man 2 had Beast, Professor Xavier, Rogue, I almost said Rouge, and Thor. Venom was in Spider-Man 1. Okay, so yeah, they didn't even get the luxury of having a funny Venom. Yeah, no, yeah. I so far I'm liking my list at the moment. I think this is I think this is really a testament to the level of where these games are at. I'm really enjoying this. How can you say that I like this game, Peter? I'll put you on timeout right now, bro. I'm joking. I'm joking. You can like whatever you want, man. If you like that game, I could bet you almost my entire life savings you've never played this game. But if you like this game, fair enough. If you like it, fair enough. Like I said, I'm not here to disagree with you. We've got Spider-Man Friend or Foe next. I grew up on this game. I played this game as a kid. There's so much in this game that I do like. I like that we go from places like Tokyo, Japan to Egypt to, I forgot the island name that it was called. You get the black suit towards the end. There was a lot that I like about this game. You have a side character as well with you that if you have two-player, makes this game so much more fun. And depending on which character you use, they're ridiculously OP. We got Black Cat very early in this game. And it's the best character. It is the best character in the game. Like, genuinely, it is a great character to have. Moves well, powerful, you upgrade her, unbelievable. There were a couple of weaknesses in this game, though. It wasn't perfect, and even in my biased state, I think I gave this game a 7 out of 10 at the time. It's biased because I did grow up on the game. There are glaring weaknesses in this game. Starters, this game is so repetitive. I know there are a lot of beat 'em ups in the world. This game is too repetitive. It is just so repetitive. You're doing the same moves every single time. The same enemies, the exact same enemies with a different coat of skin every single time. I love the boss fights. The boss fights are very memorable. Some of them are very easy. Some of them are very challenging. I like the fact that you have side characters that you can switch to. It makes things very interesting, very fun. But my goodness, it is so repetitive. And by the end of the game, you do get bored of it. Second thing I didn't like, the player that I wanted to use, you couldn't get until the end of the game. Harry Osborn. It was not unlocked until the very end of the game. So I couldn't even use him in the main story. Because if you watch Spider-Man 3, you kind of know how that saga ends. And then in this game, he's suddenly alive. So what I wanted to see was just a little bit of friendly banter as they beat the crap out of robots or out of aliens. We never got to see it. For that alone, this game is going right here. It's not an A-level game. I barely think it's a B-level game. I think most people wouldn't put it here, but I'm biased. I will say that. I love Ultimate Spider-Man a lot more than this game, but I did grow up on this one. For a beat 'em up, it's not bad. There's better, but it's not bad. And I think B is where the rightful score should be. Fun fact, friend or foe, Venom is voiced by Quinton Flynn. You may know him as the former voice of our favorite Psychic Hedgehog. Blade is voiced by Carey Payton. Oh, really? Azrael in the Arkham games. And New Goblin was played by Josh Keaton, the voice of Spider Man, for an entire generation, and has played him multiple times, even outside of the show he is most known for. Well, there you go. Also, you may know the voice of Spider Man in this game, James Arnold Taylor, the voice of none other than one of the main characters of what you have said, what I have said, is one of my favorite franchises of all time, Ratchet and Clank. I love Ratchet and Clank. If that's not voted for after the Batman series, I am playing that series next after Sonic. That is my choice. I love Ratchet and Clank, and it's one of my favorite. It is one of my favorite series of all time. Another Insomniac game development, by the way. So they don't miss. They really don't. It's fantastic. Peter, oh my gosh, you don't listen, bro. You don't listen. I said if it's not voted for. There is one section where I will play the games that I want to play. So after Sonic, I will pick the game I want to play. After Batman, you guys can vote for the game that I play. It's not a hard concept to understand. If Ratchet and Clank is voted for after Batman, I will play that series. I don't understand you, bro. I generally don't. I don't understand you. You don't listen. Anyway, let's move on. Peter rants aside. Spider-Man Web of Shadows for the PS3. Okay, I have a lot of things to say about this game. I think for the generation that it's in, the PS3 generation of gaming, Spider-Man Web of Shadows is the best in terms of gameplay. The combos you could do, whether you're in the black suit or the normal suit, is so different and so it's very fun, trying to pick between the two. The fact that this game has multiple endings and multiple choices you can pick, like one of the choices you can pick is literally getting a human being, I'm not going to tell you who it is, and ripping them in half. That is a choice you can do in this game. That is unbelievable for a Spider-Man game. This game could get very dark, or it could be a very heroic experience. The story is so good in this game, outside of one ending, and I'll tell you the ending that I mean. But gameplay-wise, I won't even say gameplay-wise. The missions, in my opinion, are the problem with this game. Some of the missions at the end of the game take way too long. Like beating 30 things or something like that. Like we're playing an MMO or something. Why am I beating up 30 things, bro? Tell me. Why am I doing that at the end of the game? It takes 45 minutes to do that alone. That's a whole stream's worth of just beating up things that, in my opinion, don't add anything to the game. It's literally just designed to make you play the game longer. Considering there's 4 endings in this game, you're playing this game long enough, brother. You don't need to beat up 30 things. It makes you, to be honest, after the second playthrough, I was well and truly done with this game. I did not want to play it again. I was not willing to go back and get the other 2 endings. Because it just takes so long and it's not necessary. It didn't need to be that long. So in my opinion, the biggest thing that lets that game down is the mission structure. But the multiple choice endings, the multiple choice decisions you get to make, some of the side content you got to see, like some of the characters you get to see in this game, even some of the jokes you make, like you get introduced to Luke Cage very quickly, and then you get introduced to, what's his name? Moon Knight. I think his name is Moon Knight. You get introduced to Catwoman. Depending on which side you picked early in the game, you get picked by those two. There was, you got Kingpin. There was Wolverine. There's a lot there. There is a lot there. Electro was one of the enemies that we fought, yes. Vulture, I think, was another one, that one of the characters that we fought. Like, there's a lot there in Spider-Man Web of Shadows. And the story, in my opinion, is the key to the game. Gameplay and combo-wise is very, very fun. The missions drag it out for me. I need to talk about the endings, though, before we mention anything else. Anything else. So there's 2 endings that I picked. I picked the full hero, the full black-suited evil ending, I guess you could say. I cannot stand the fully evil ending of this game. I can't stand it. I'll tell you why. It ended on a cliffhanger that never, ever, ever gets answered. No DLC, no second game, no comic, no written web internet thing you could find. That to me, it almost ruined the whole experience of that second playthrough. What's the point in ending on a cliffhanger? I don't like games that do that. I understand why they do it. It's leading up to hopefully getting people more hyped for the second game and whatnot. I will stand by this as well. This series deserves a second game. It did. I understand where you're coming from. But I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This game genuinely pissed me off with that ending. It genuinely was so upsetting. So for that alone, I'm putting this the bottom of A. I think this game is good enough. The grind was too hard. Too long, not even hard. It was too long. And the ending really pissed me off. I don't know about the anti or the semi-hero, semi-villain endings. Those are up to your discretion. I only played this game twice, and I'm only going to play this game twice. This game cost me $500, by the way. Just want you to think. Let me take a sip. You guys can contemplate why I would spend that much money. It was actually, I think it was less than that, but it was around. It was in between $350 and $500. So there you go. It was not a good purchase. It was a stupid purchase. Very stupid purchase. But as a game, I'm not going to take price into consideration with this one because I'm sure when it was out and actually available for the PS3, it was a normal retail price. So I'm not going to put price into this one, but yeah, bottom of A for me. I think that's where this game deserves to be. Spider-Man, is this Shattered Dimensions? Yes, it is. The one with the 4 Spider-Men. Now, this wasn't an open world experience. This was definitely a level by level experience, and the levels were so different and unique. It was a joy to watch. So the original Spider-Man was sort of the levels you'd expect. You know, you kind of go from point A to point B, use different tactics to get there. You beat up a boss. It was sort of the normal level. Then you had Spider-Man Noir, where it was sort of sneaky. It was sort of, you know, hide in the shadows, everything in between, take people down that way, and everything like that. It was genuinely a really fun experience there. Then you had the black suited Spider-Man, or I think in this game he's called Spectacular, maybe, I'm not sure. But black suited Spider-Man was just a combo fest. Get 50, 60 combos. Like, that's what you were designed to do. I think at one point I got a 200 combo with the black suited Spider-Man. Like, it was that sort of game. And then you got Spider-Man 99 or 2099, where it was sort of futuristic. You're in a very futuristic world. You're doing free diving and everything in between. I think there was a little bit of the hacking sequences in there as well. Yeah, and the boss fights in that one were quite good as well. Very star-studded in terms of the enemies, but also surprising. There was, you know, there were certain areas in this series where I thought a boss fight, because the boss fights are hidden, right? You don't get to pick them up straight away. But one of those things was Rhino, and it ended up being somebody else. You know what I mean? That was really, really interesting to me. And Game Ninja mentions the story, some of the villains. So we had Craven, Mysterio, Hammerhead, Hobgoblin, Electro, Sandman, Noir Vulture, Scorpion, Deadpool. Deadpool was so fun. Juggernaut was the person I was thinking of. Silver Sable, Green Goblin, Doc Ock. So many enemies. And they picked enemies that, you know, they didn't pick the Rhinos of the world. You know, they didn't pick those guys. Like, they genuinely went a little bit creative with some of the enemies they had in this game. So I think for a level by level game, This is probably the best there is. Unfortunately, the games that are above it are, except for this one, are sort of open world and sandboxy, and I do like those type of games. So yeah, I think this game deserves to be right there, right in the middle of B. I think this game is very, very good. Very, very good. And I would recommend, if you're not interested in open world games, go and play this one, man. Go and play this one. It's a level by level game. You get a lot of creativity. You get a lot of different playing styles. You're facing a lot of unique enemies. This is the way to go. And then we got Spider-Man Edge of Time. Hold on, let's look at the chat real quick. You can't let us pick from games that you already choose. What are you talking about? I'm literally giving you an open door to any series in the world. Like, literally, there's only a select few series I'm going to say no to. If you don't want me to play a series that I would already play anyway, how about you don't vote for it? And then all the problems in the world are solved. And in terms of NBA, I won't be answering any NBA questions until the end of the stream. This is a thing that on YouTube, I'm not going to stop to talk about NBA. So we'll wait till I rank all these, and then we could talk about the NBA. All right, let's keep going. So Spider-Man Edge of Time is, in my opinion, again, so with this game, it goes based off of two Spider-Man from the ones in the Shattered Dimension. So, for example, that game has the original Spectacular Spider-Man, and he also had Spider-Man 99. So it's 2099. Those two Spider-Men are traveling back in time or in the future to try and save the world from the big mastermind villain that's trying to, I guess, kind of conquer the world in many ways. Maybe the story was even to ruin the world, like destroy it. And I'm not going to tell you who that is, because I really recommend you play this game as well. But when I first heard about this and when I first saw it, I was in complete shock. Let me put it to you that way. The boss fights in this game are very memorable as well. Very memorable. I love the boss fights in this game. And ultimately, I know it's not as renowned and as talked about as Shattered Dimensions. I think this game is just up there as well with Shattered Dimensions. I really believe that. I think the story and the boss fights make this game so memorable. Whereas with Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, the characters and the different gameplay styles makes it very memorable. For me, this is it is up there with it. I'd put Shattered Dimensions slightly over it, but I was so pleasantly surprised because everybody said to me, this game sucks. Every single person said this game sucks. So I'm glad to be proven wrong by that. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. I was very much look forward to it. I was pleasantly surprised. Man, this is quite long. I've been talking for an hour straight. Also, Josh voiced Peter in this game. You said any game. What about RuneScape? If it was voted. I said there were a select few I would say no to. You have a whole space of game series you could pick. I said no to RuneScape 6 months ago. So yes, I'm going to say no to it now. I'm not playing RuneScape. That doesn't mean that I'm saying no to everything. There are so many games you could pick. If I really didn't like your opinion, Peter, I would have never kept NBA open, because NBA is not a story game. And I know most people that watch my streams would not want me to play it. But I've kept NBA open for you. I've kept FIFA open for you. I've kept AFL open for you. These are series I'm willing to play. I've kept GTA open for you. No one else wants me to play it. Be grateful, man. This is the one game that you picked that I didn't want to play. And you're creating a big fuss like this. Even if you're rage baiting, like I said, you need to know your time and place to do that. That's all I'm gonna say. At this point, you're just not listening. That's not rage bait. That is just, in my opinion, very disrespectful. So if you're not going to listen to me, you know what? I won't take your vote into consideration. If you don't listen to me, why should I listen to you? And your 4 other people as well. So start listening to what I have to say, or I'm not going to listen to you. You don't get the benefit of me listening to you if you don't listen to me. So that's the end of the discussion. I'm not going to talk about votes anymore. There's 2 more games left. For example, Aiden's series said, yeah, I won't do Dark Souls or Elden Ring. The games are just too difficult for me. It's not something I want to do. So again, there's some series I'll say no to, but there is thousands of series I would say yes to. So if the series ends up getting voted for Ratchet and Clank, I love Ratchet and Clank. I will play Ratchet and Clank anyway, but if it gets voted for, I could do it earlier. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so this game, Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, all right. I like the story in this game a lot. So this takes place after the movie, and we're trying to kind of save, I forgot what his name was. I think it was Alistair, something like that. Sam Alistair or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but he was sort of creating robots and whatnot to try to take over the world, and you needed the lizards to help you stop it and whatnot. There was also an infection going around the city that kind of made people turn into lizards again or turn into certain things. I'm vaguely trying to remember it here, but we needed the lizards to kind of help us. And then when the lizard did help us, certain things took place that I will not mention. But the story is quite good. What I don't like about this game is the traversal in this game I don't like. The reason why, Spider-Man is too zoomed in. So I don't get to actually see New York. My eyes don't see New York. My eyes are looking at another man's ass, literally. I'm staring at his ass for 8 hours. I'm sorry. I don't know whose choice it was to zoom in Spider-Man that closely, but brother, there is something wrong with that. That cannot happen. Please, whoever develops a game, whoever decided it was whoever's choice it was to do that and is developing other games, don't zoom in that close, because I don't get to see the whole world. I don't get to see the beautiful game you actually created, because it looked like traversally, if I was zoomed out, I could actually experience New York and it looked quite nice. But traversally, I didn't like it. And because of that, I never ever got to experience the side content, because I'm sorry, what's the point of doing side content when I can't even see what I'm doing? I can't even see the world that I'm traveling. To me, the side content, a big part of it is getting to experience new things in a beautiful world. When I'm doing taking pictures, for example, in Spider-Man PS4 or Spider-Man 2, when I'm collecting backpacks in these games, or when I'm collecting memorabilia in Spider-Man Miles Morales that connects you to his friends, I get to do that and experience the beautiful world that game has to offer me. I don't get to see that in this game. I don't. So for that reason, as much as I like the story, the gameplay is quite good as well in terms of combat. It's very one or two sort of buttons to get most of the combat out, but it's not bad. To me, this goes in the C category. To me, this goes in the bottom of C. I don't like the traversal of this game. I think it just ruins everything, really. It makes the game not worth playing. And they do fix this in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. They fix it really well. They're zoomed out, so I actually get to see beautiful New York in all of its glory, in all of its PS3. This is actually, played this on the Xbox One. So all of its Xbox One glory. I get to see the beautiful side of New York. I get to experience some of the side content and enjoy it. I got to see different suits because I played this game and played its side content. It was really fun. And the gameplay was improved upon as well. I'll tell you what I didn't like. About the Amazing Spider-Man 2 right here, the story was crammed. And I don't like stories that are kind of squished together to make a game. I'll give you an example. I will never, ever, ever understand why they decided to do this. At the very beginning of the game, I'm not spoiling anything because it's literally at the very beginning. I mean, maybe I'm spoiling something, but it's going to take you 5 minutes to see this. At the very beginning of the game, your uncle gets shot. At the very beginning. Similar to this Spider-Man game here, all the way down in the D tier. You don't get to see your uncle being shot in this game, but you get to go and catch his killer. That's how that game starts. How this game starts is your uncle gets shot. You don't get any relationship with him. You don't get to speak to him. There's multiple choice conversations in this game. None of them have anything to do with your uncle because he's gone 5 minutes into the game. This game needed more time to develop its story. What would make it so impactful is that I get an actual relationship with my uncle. I can get to talk to him. I can get to share my experiences with him about school, or if he knew I was Spider-Man, about Spider-Man, or talk about life. I could get angry at him like happened in the movies. I could talk to him in some sort of way, and it could mean something. But he's just gone like this. Just like that. It was crammed. It didn't need to be that crammed. And because of that, you're like maybe what? Maybe 5 hours away from the ending after that. Like, this game is quite short. Another example of this is when you meet Harry. So you meet Harry. Harry asks for Spider-Man's blood, I'm pretty sure. Spider-Man says no. 3 missions later, you just fight him. He turns evil within literally a click of a finger. He's now evil when you fight him. There's no character development. There's no real explanation as to why he went the way that he went. Nothing. You just fight him. Where's the progress in the story? It's not there. As someone that's here to play story-based games, that hurts. I've watched the movie as well. I've watched the movie of this one. I don't know. It has to have been rushed. This game has to. There's no other explanation. This game had to have been rushed. And because it was rushed, they crammed all the story elements in there. All of the story elements. So, yeah, I'm sorry. This game ruined it for me. This game ruined it for me. It's still at the bottom of C because the gameplay and the side content is quite good. You could take photos in this game as well. Like, it had a lot of good side content. The story in of itself, as crammed as it is, it made sense to a certain extent, but the story ruined it. Story ruined everything in this game. All the improvements that they made, gameplay-wise, if you were just focusing purely on gameplay, this game is better than The Amazing Spider-Man. It's better than this one, and it's better than probably Friend or Foe. But the story, that's how bad I really disliked this story. That's how bad it was to go all the way there. So that is my final ranking. Do you guys agree? I just want to see, because we're doing this on a live stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with this? Or do you disagree? I'd love to know what you guys think. The game starts with them putting a bullet in his head right away. Yeah, 5 minutes in. 5 minutes in. Five minutes in, and your uncle's gone. The first cutscene, he's gone. You may not see him get shot, but he gets shot, and you just run up to him, and you just watch him die. I haven't played most of these games, but my only change to your score is swapping Spider-Man 2018 and Spider-Man 2 2023 around. So yeah, pretty much like this, right? Oh, there we go. Yeah. I personally like the original Spider-Man better. I think its story is better. and I think it was just revolutionary. I just don't think this game did enough to go above and beyond, but that's just me. Plus, this game has cancelled DLC. If it had DLC and it was good DLC, I might put it over, but you know, you kind of this game announced it was going to have DLC before the game even released, and then they cancelled it. Like, for some people, that's a waste of money. So I don't know. For me, I personally prefer. I prefer the original PS4 Insomniac version of Spider-Man. You disagree? That's very unfortunate, Peter. Would you mind telling me what you disagree on? I haven't played most of the. Yeah, we've seen that one. I think the original did story and gadgets better, but Spider-Man 2 overall was better for me. Yeah, that's fine. That's completely fine. Again, each to their own. I'm sure there are many people that prefer Spider-Man 2 over the original. I'm not trying to be controversial when I say that. I think this is my favorite game of all time. So I can't in good conscience put a second. But yeah, that's my rankings. So as you can see, there are a lot of goods in there, but there are many bads. And that comes an end to the Spider-Man series right there. We're done. It is all over. No more Spider-Man. Oh, we might play more Spider-Man games, but to me, this series is everything. Like, this series, this is everything we're going to do. You know what I mean? We're done with this now. What an interesting journey. This is actually the first series I've ever played and completed, if you think about it. From the from PS1 all the way to PS5, this is the series that I started and played throughout its entirety. I know there's DS games I haven't touched. Unfortunately, I can't stream DS games. There's some Game Boy games I haven't touched, but from PS1 all the way to PS5, we've played every single game. That's specifically Spider-Man alone. I know there's Marvel Alliance I haven't played, Marvel Nemesis, which I have played, but they have Spider-Man in the game, but it's not about Spider-Man. These games are purely about Spider-Man, and we've kind of done it from start to finish. So I'm quite happy and proud that I was able to do this series. It's a love letter, in my opinion, especially the later games, to Spider-Man, the movies, the generation that it grew up on, everybody kind of following and trying to take on the messages of Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a very relatable superhero as well. I'm very happy I got to do this series. I thank everybody that recommended it to me. To be fair, with this game and this series, I kind of just did it myself. I didn't really have anyone pick it for me because at the time I didn't have many viewers watching. But yeah, like, I'm very happy I was able to do this series from start to finish. It was genuinely one of the funnest experiences and also probably some of the worst experience in my entire life. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing it. This is only the beginning. There are so many series I want to complete. There are so many tier lists I want to do. This probably wasn't the most perfect tier list ever. It's an hour and 13 minutes. Half of it is complaining about Peter, of just talking about Spider-Man. I'm sure it could get better than this. I will get better at doing these in the future. I promise you that. But I love the fact that once I finish the series now, I get to kind of talk about them more. I get to rank them more. This is all I really wanted to do when I grew up. You know, I don't know if I still have it, but in my notes section, this is way before I started streaming. Let's see if I still have it. It was a long time ago. There we go. I don't know if you can see this. Hold on. Maybe if I... Look at this. You look at this. You see all that? These are all the games that I played, starting from Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. You probably won't be able to see the writing, but all these games I have ranked out of 10. Look at that. Look at how many games I've played and ranked. Some of them are in this, by the way, in this section, Spider-Man games. Look at all that. So you can't. This is what I've wanted to do since time, bro. Since time, I've wanted to do this. I'm getting a bit emotional, I can't lie, because this is what I wanted to do. I now have the capacity to do what I want to do. You know how inspiring that is. So yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for watching it. I can't thank you enough for going through these journeys with me. I can't thank you guys enough for all the joy, for all the rage, for the rage baits, all of it. I'm so thankful for all of you guys. I I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. And again, this is only the beginning. As long as I have breath in my lungs, I have my hands being able to, I can control these things. I will keep trying to stream games for as long as I can get away with it. As long as I can, I'm going to keep on going and keep on doing it. So thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Now that it's kind of come to an end, look, if you're watching this on YouTube and you've been here the whole time, I mean, firstly, you're kind of insane because an hour straight of looking at this screen is, I'm not going to edit this. So shout out to you. Like, fair play. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to, like, I think you could probably leave now if you want. I'm going to spend the rest of the time talking to chat for a bit. But hey, you're more than welcome to, listen to the conversation, I guess. We'll see how this goes. But thank you guys so much. YouTube, Twitch, even Kick. Some of them, I don't stream on Kick anymore, but when I used to, there were some people watching on Kick. Thank you all, every single person. All right, what have I missed? Are these rankings objective or subjective? They're subjective in the base that it's my opinion. I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for, but that's the answer I've got. And are these games bought by all gamers or diehard only? No, not everybody has these games. They're very popular Spider-Man games. They're almost the well-known ones, but some of these games right now are way too expensive for people to own. So I wouldn't say everybody owns this. You disagree? I'm assuming that's on my rankings. You've got to be more specific than that. I think the story is not everything. Oh, there we go. It's about gameplay. Again, it's just different opinions. It's definitely more about, if you value gameplay more, that's completely fine. Again, if it was going based on gameplay, I'd probably move Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1 around. But I value story. I really do. Once Insomniac Spider-Man 3 comes out, it could be added to the list. When that comes out, we can redo the list. Absolutely. I can't see much changing, but we can redo this list. Absolutely. That's probably in like 5 years' time or something like that. I'll be here to make the tier list for each time. Thank you very much, Game Ninja. This was a big help. I mean, yeah, I'm very grateful that you were able to do this. Shout out to Game Ninja. Story time with Aiden. I gave you a bit of a story time. I didn't expect to be doing a story time, but I gave you a story time nonetheless. Another series. So hold on. Did you imagine us being here? I imagined us being here. I can't lie. As soon as I started streaming, I imagined us here. I don't want to lie and just say, "Oh, I never expected this." I think for where we are, I expected at least a few people to watch. I expected to make some friends along the way. I'm not a successful Twitch streamer. Like I'm not sitting here saying I've made it to the pinnacle. I'm not saying that. If I end up getting to that point, of course, I don't expect that to happen. But I expect my friends to be here. I expected to make new friends. I expected to share my love for gaming to everyone. I imagine this. Again, this is all I wanted to do since I was a kid. Of course, I imagine this. So yeah, the answer is yeah. I imagine this. I pictured this happening, and I hope it can grow and be successful to the point where I couldn't have never dreamed of it being. But we shall see. I have another idea for another series you can complete. If you didn't know, the original God of War trilogy is getting remade. I did. I saw the PlayStation Play or PlayStation. Yeah, I think it's called the State of Play. I saw that. I got very excited because I haven't played the early God of Wars. The only God of War I've ever played is the PS4 version of God of War. It's the only God. I have Ragnarok. I own the game. I've never played it because once I played God of War for the PS4, I know someday someday I will be playing Ragnarok on stream. So whether again, I think that needs to be a series. We can put that in the voting section. I don't. There's gonna be so many games. It's gonna be hard to pick one to vote. So how I think it's gonna go, I'm gonna put the voting on YouTube. I'm gonna give a couple of suggestions. I think 4 suggestions I can give technically, but your comments are gonna count as votes. So one comment, and if people like your comment, I consider those votes. That's how I think it's gonna go. Or maybe there's another way that we can do it that I can't think of at the moment. But that's the best way that I'm thinking of it at the moment. YouTube poll. We can use the comments as votes as well. And we'll see how it goes. But again, I just don't want people to cheat. Like, I don't want people to make fake accounts and spam voting. Like, I don't want that, because that's just gonna ruin it for everyone, right? But we'll have to see when the time comes. We're still not there yet, I guess. But I'm excited for God of War. I really am. One of the series I'm definitely looking forward to. I never thought in my life I'd experience the day Aiden thanks me for age baiting. It's probably the last time you'll ever hear it. I'm letting everyone know my vote will be the one that goes through. Peter, I promise you, if you make fake accounts, or you get friends that I know do not watch the streams, if you get any of your friends from the UK, which I know for a fact will not watch these streams, or if you get any friends here that have never watched one of my streams, I will not pick your choice. I'm telling you that now. I will pick the second choice. I don't want it to be cheated. I genuinely want what people actually want me to play. That's all I want. If people want me to play a certain game, that's all I want. So no cheating. No cheating. I know for a fact if NBA wins, then you've cheated. Let's put it that way. Because there's no way NBA would win. With the games that I've played, if NBA somehow climbs its way to the top, I know for a fact you would have cheated. That's all I'm going to say. How about these options you provide? Ratchet and Clank, Lego, God of War, and Injustice. I'll kind of pick the. I'll definitely put Ratchet and Clank in there. I'm not sure. Lego needs to be. There needs to be more specific stuff. Like, I don't really know much about the Lego games, so I think that could be, I think it needs to be more specific. Like, there's Harry Potter Lego games, there's Marvel Lego games. I think there's a Sonic Lego game somewhere out there in the world. Lego DC. Yeah, I feel like would have to be. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna put series that I have played already at least one of the games. So I'll put God of War in there because I played God of War. I'll put Ratchet and Clank because that's just bias. I want to play Ratchet and Clank. I'm going to put Assassin's Creed because I played 3 Assassin's Creed game before. So I played 3 Assassin's Creed games. I played Mirage. I played Shadows. No, I've only played 2 then. I've only played 2 Assassin's Creed games. And then for the 4th one, I'll pick WWE. So those are kind of my options that I would give out. But I'm looking at the comments because the comments will have a lot. What if there's a tie in the voting? I have an idea. Why don't each of your followers pick one and we do them in rotation? The reason why I don't want to do that is because it takes the opportunity away from someone new that maybe just saw that vote and wanted to pick something. So if I just go based on the followers alone, I think it ruins it just because someone new doesn't get their say. I think that hurts in many ways. But in regards to if there's a tie, we'll do a random wheel generator. We'll put both games in there that are tied. Or if there's 3, if there's 4, if there's 5, we'll put all of them in there and then we'll spin the wheel. And we'll see where it goes. The Sonic Lego game is only Lego Dimensions. which would cost way too much for you to do, then it is what it is. I'm willing to spend a lot of money. That's a contradiction. You said to have to watch regularly. No, I don't want you getting friends like, for example, David, who I know for a fact will never watch my streams ever. He won't watch them. He'll watch them to troll maybe once, and then he will never watch them again. He has no time to be watching my streams. And you getting him to vote and getting him to vote for you so you can get what you want out of it. That's what I don't want. There's not a contradiction. Someone that is new, that genuinely has an interest in what I'm doing and wants to watch what I do. Like, if your new friend actually watched me regularly, it would be a different story. Like Christian and Jordan, for example, or Pickle Juice and Chris. I would accept their vote because they watch regularly enough to have a say in it. But if you're going to get people that haven't watched and will never watch it just so you can get your vote, I classify that as cheating. And I've told you how serious I am when it comes to that. I don't want anything to stand in the way of what people actually want me to play. So if you want to watch NBA, I mean, Old School Magic might be able to vote for NBA. He likes basketball. I know that for a fact. You obviously like basketball as well, Peter. You could get Christian and Jordan to maybe try and vote for it if they don't like anything else. Then fair enough, I'll play NBA. But that's not how it's going to work. Like, I'm not going to get random people that are obviously are my friends as well, but will never watch my streams. Why would I take their vote into consideration? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And I've told you this before, so you know exactly what I mean. You absolutely know what I mean. All right. So the voting it's not going to happen anytime soon. We have 2 more Batman games to play. And I think at the end of the day, maybe April. I think April could be the time. Maybe May, because the new WWE game comes out in April, and I'll probably spend time playing that game because it's new and I want to play it. But I think maybe May, I'm thinking, because when I get back, I'm going to play another Sonic game because the Sonic games we have played are very short. I'll try and play a Sonic game, and then we'll play the next Batman game, and we'll see where we go from there. I'm thinking May might be where we get to do the vote. And hopefully there's enough people that will be voting. I'll be looking forward to it and seeing. Stop putting words in Aiden's mouth. Yeah, look, as long as it makes sense, that's all I really care about. That is 4 votes right there. So Peter, I genuinely think there's a chance that Christian and Jordan won't vote just to piss you off. So, I mean, I think if they could vote, they would probably vote for NBA. But even then, I don't think they would vote. Because they, I don't know. Maybe they will. I don't know. That's the whole point of the vote. Vote. If NBA wins, it's not like Game Ninja gets nothing. There's going to be Sonic as well. We're going to be still playing Sonic. It's not like I'm going to stop doing that. And after NBA, we could do whatever we do. Like, that's the whole point of the series. We pick what we want to pick. We pick what people want to see. So the whole point is I don't want people to lose. I don't want people to say, ugh, all you're playing is NBA. I'm out of here. I don't want that. You said if NBA gets picked, you know I cheated, but that's a fair way it gets picks. I would only accept picks from... I never forced you to pick. I never forced you to watch anything, Peter. You're welcome to leave, brother. Of course, I want you to watch, but you're welcome to leave if you don't want to watch. I play NBA every year. It's not like you never get anything you want. I've played all the new NBA games. But I don't classify getting people that watch my streams, like Old School Magic or Christian and Jordan, who have watched them relatively regularly, to vote. Of course, I don't think that's cheating. But if you're going to get David or some random guy from down the street. You get some random dude in the UK who, at the very best, you tell me to say hi to vote. No, that's cheating. That's not it. That's not it. So, you know, we've got Roy, who I hope would vote. Old School Magic will vote. You know, Game Ninja will vote. I'm not going to vote because that would be very biased. I won't vote, but there's a lot of people that can vote. That random guy said he will join regularly, and he followed. We'll see. Because so far, I haven't really seen much. I saw one person. I saw him join one stream. To be fair, it was the only stream. But I don't know how any of your friends from medical school will have the time to watch me. Respectfully, I don't know how that's possible. You don't even have time to watch me. You watch me on mute. Or you don't even watch. You literally tell me you don't watch me. You literally listen to me. You don't watch me. So I don't know how that's going to be possible, but if you can find a way, by all means, find a way. I don't know. We'll cross the bridge when we come to it. If I see like 17 NBA 2K votes, I know you've cheated. I know Peter. Peter, he doesn't watch it. He listens because he watches me while he studies. So he probably has my stream in the background or another tab, and he listens to me as he studies. I know that's what he does. So he's not actually watching Batman. He's listening to it. I'm not saying that's bad. I never said that was bad. I'm actually very impressed that you can do that. But there's nothing. I'm just saying, like, I can't imagine any medical school friends of yours would be watching me. I just can't. I understand if it's your friend's boyfriend, that's different. But if it's one of your friends from medical school, I can't, in good conscience, take their vote into consideration because I just can't imagine them watching me. I think when it comes to studying, it's whatever works. It's whatever works. I think Peter, especially because he's in the UK, hello from the UK, I think he watches me as well as part of like something that is a piece of home for him. You know what I mean? So I would say whatever works. Like, I personally listen to music when I study. I haven't studied in years, but when I was actually taking my studies seriously, I listened to music. It just makes things more productive. He's not watching the stream, he's listening to it. So, in my opinion, it's sort of like listening to music in many ways, but whatever works. Whatever works. It's completely fine. He's in medical school, so how can I say his methods don't work? He's clearly got somewhere when it comes to studying, so yeah. It's fine. Each to their own. Everybody's going to be different. No one can study the same way. It's like grief. No one can grieve in the same way. It's not possible. There's going to be something unique in the way you study, in the way you grieve, in the way you speak, everything. Something's going to be unique about you. Peter's just a very unique individual. All right. So with that being said, I think we're going to end the stream here. If I can get my voice back relatively, I am going to be leaving for the trip at 1 a.m., I think, maybe 2 a.m. If I could maybe start streaming again at 11, I want to play another Sonic game. And I just want to see. I want to show you the Sonic game I'm going to play. Sonic Rumble. This one right here. I've already done part 2. Part 2, Sonic Jump is over. We've done it. That was a misery. So this is the only Sonic game that I can think of that would be one stream and does not require a story. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think we're gonna play Sonic Rumble. I think this is an online sort of Fall Guys type of game. And I think maybe, I don't know if you can play with other people. I think you can. And I also don't know if this game is. This game might be. I don't know if it's free. It could be free. Sonic Rumble is free. So it's open to the public. My people, if you want to play through Sonic Rumble for an hour or so, later in the stream, it is free to play. I'm more than happy to play with some of you guys. If not, I'll play by myself. It's fine. I'm sure we can have individual. I don't know how it's gonna work, but yeah. There you go. Play through it all again. No, thanks. No problems, Game Ninja. It is what it is. It will be open to the public. I'll mention it in the next stream as well. If someone wants to play, play. Well, we can play together. We can have a good time. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and get my voice back. Maybe get a bit of a break, walk around a little bit, get hydrated, get hyped. Because again, this will be the last stream I do in 2 weeks. But I want to get it because I want to try and get as many Sonic out of the way. So, yeah. Peter, can you please stop saying you own people? Just stop. Say something else. I don't know, man. What's going on? Anyway, that's it for me. I'm going to take a break. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later tonight for Sonic Rumble. If not, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. And hopefully you guys, I gave everything I could over this weekend. I've streamed so much. I'm genuinely so tired of looking at a screen. So we'll see. If I have one more left in me, I'll be live later. If not, hopefully this was enough. I'll see you guys whenever I see you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. God bless. Take care. And peace. Saying you're studying sucks is not the same as saying you own someone. That's completely a 180 in terms of a comeback. It's not appropriate, I would say. All right. Anyway, see ya.